know what this is going to look like when everybody gets to see it tomorrow when it's uploaded. But just for us right now, it's like watching an episode of 24.
Yeah.
With like the split windows, and there's a guy smoking a cigarette, and somebody's possibly being interrogated. It's this is fun.
A good question from Paranormal Pirate. Best post-show experience. Jeff, I bet you had a bunch because you had some of the biggest guests in the stream. Did you ever get a chat with them longer after the cameras turned off?
Post-show, so not like post-show as in talking to the collective, but post-show as in like hanging out with the guest afterward kind of thing?
I'm not sure. Paranormal Pirate? They just say best post-show experience, question mark?
One fun post-show experience that was like talking back to the collective, which is how I kind of took it, was when Brian's dad was in town, and his dad did the post-show with me. And it was really cool. It was a lot of fun. And I got Brian's dad to reveal Brian's middle name, which was something that he had like kept secret from the entire collective. And it was like a big deal. Brian comes running out, no,
Yes.
But it was too late.
What's his middle name?
That was probably, as a long-time fan of the Stream.TV, Brian has never admitted that.
Well, did you watch that?
What is it? What is the name?
I know the chat room knows it. I can't think. Glennon?
I'm spacing on it now too, but he
Glennis?
definitely said it.
I was popping in.
Oh my God! Please let it
It
be.
wasn't like, for me, it wasn't like finding out Angelina Jolie's middle name or something. You know what I mean? It was something that I was dying to know and like filed away in my memory.
Such
But
a long
to the, like,
secret. He kept that freaking secret for so long.
Yeah.
3 years, you know. I was popping in because do you guys want to take calls on Skype?
Sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah.
That's
Technology is crazy.
Let's push the envelope, because so far this is going just about as smoothly as Apollo 13.
Oh.
I'm kidding. It's all fine.
That's what I miss most about my Apollo 13.
Can I give my favorite post show? It was actually Jeff's post show, and I had showed up early for commercial break, and I forget who it was. It might have been Brian. He's like, go in there and mess around with Jeff. And this was like week 2 or 3 for me. And I'm like, all right. So I sat down with Jeff, and we did the chat room together, and we talked sports and really just busted each other's balls. And that was the first week that I realized, oh, now I get this. Now I know why this is fun. And now this is something I want to be a part of. So that was my favorite post show.
That was
My
a good one.
favorite
And I really think
post-show-
Brian may have missed an opportunity to pair us up to do more sports stuff.
Yeah.
Go for it,
Sorry,
Erin.
go ahead.
I
Take
don't
your
want to
favorite.
interrupt. My favorite post show, well, I think I did a lot of random chatting and filling in and stuff like that when I was at the stream. But I think my favorite experience was probably at one point, I think it was after Twending, talking, and Jim Festante comes in, and he's wasted. And I'm like, oh my God, he smells like booze. But I didn't want to say anything because I really didn't want to be awkward about it.
That's
So I just pretended like nothing happened. And then he kind of brought it up, and I was like, oh my God, I knew it. You reek of alcohol. That was kind of funny. So
That's how he
that was
smells.
probably the best. Yeah, maybe he always smells like
He
that.
does, yeah.
I don't smell him very often, so I don't know. But I mean, Ethan kind of smells like booze right now.
That's my bad.
Were we not supposed to do the shows on alcohol? Because
Oops.
Oops,
I never did. It was fine. It's all fine.
I'm going to go back to the notes. What else is in the notes? Ken, yeah. Wow, this is... okay.
Can hot
This
sauce
actually-
help you lose weight?
Well, actually, the first one, we haven't even covered that. Do you think that to be a successful artist, you need to open up your whole life to the media in your music and stuff like that? I'm taking the question as meaning we do live shows. We are there for the public to view, to interact with during like the streamathons 24/7. Do you think that to make it in media now, you need to be able to be open to that kind of instant gratification? Jeff Schubert.
Okay, I'll take it. I was waiting. I didn't want to jump in. I think you have to be comfortable in your own shoes, I think, and I think you have to be real to who you are. It's not going to necessarily manifest the same for every person. Like every person that's in this conversation right now can have a different interpretation of opening themselves up. And as long as they are true to that, consistent with that, and authentic with that, you can make it work for you. It just doesn't have to it doesn't have to manifest the same way with every person. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Totally.
Katie Conway?
I don't know how to say it better. I'm not sure. I need to think about it. I like what Jeff said.
I can tell you, I think from doing actual stand-up comedy, it's there's a duality. There's a character that you hone and you write over the course of doing stand-up, and that is what you present on stage, because you need to have an angle, you need to have a personality for people to connect with you. But then there's the material reality where you're trying to showcase yourself as a personality that can be marketed and spun off on a television show or a movie. But it also has to be genuine, because if it's not, you're not going to fool anybody for an instant. So you need to take bits and pieces of your life and spin them and weave them into this is sounding way more dramatic than stand-up needs to be, but it needs to become a narrative about who you are. And it needs to be at least partially true.
And it's like, for example, Chris Rock couldn't do Jerry Seinfeld's material and vice versa.
Right.
Erin Ashley?
I think you have to be open and willing to put yourself out there. So however you choose to define that, I think is up to the individual. But for me, I think it's part of what we do. So I'm down.
And it's a different answer. It's funny, Michael, you brought up the idea of from the perspective of a comic, from the perspective, and the question was originally posed from the perspective of like a media personality. But to the actor, it would be another different answer, because an actor, the more you're out there, and the harder it makes it for the audience to believe you in other types of roles. Like, for example, a lot of the great actors, the Robert De Niro's, the Meryl Streeps, and so on and so forth, we know less about them, and we see them in any kind of role, and we believe them in it. When we know people's positions on political issues of the day, this, that, and the other, sometimes it makes it harder for us to believe them in certain types of roles if we know too much about them. Or it's some people, they offend some people because some people don't like their views or whatever. So for the actor, it can be a tricky thing.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Totally. Yeah.
Telemundo 714 wants to know if everybody in LA is either a stand-up or in porn or a secretary. I just want to say, Telemundo, I've done all three.
I'm doing all three currently.
I did 2 out of the 3. Guess which? No.
Oh, man.
Well, Jeff, one of them I did for you.
I don't want to know which one.
He took notes. Took very, very good notes. Well, I'm just excited to be in the same room as all of you guys again.
I know. It's fun.
Yeah.
I think that's the most exciting thing. We never really started the show by saying, hey, what's up? I missed all you guys. Because I do, and I have. I saw Brian and Jim Festante and Guides recently. We all went to go see Tron. I think I was the only one drunk, but they were a delight. It was great catching back up with those guys. It sounds like Brian has a studio already in the works. I think he did the live broadcast with Eliza last week on the 11th. I didn't get a chance to watch it, but I jumped into the chat room right after, and it looked like he has a studio going already. So I think he's working out the technical details, but who knows what's coming back.
Yeah, I've checked it out. It looks pretty cool so far, actually. I'm impressed by the way things are coming along. So
he's going live, like, I think every day for a little bit.
He has been? Or he will be?
Yeah, I think he has been.
What? Brian Gramo going live?
Yeah, I'm supposed to stop by some point this week to check it out and, just say, hey, live for a few minutes too.
Huh.
But, yeah.
So the question's been going, do you think your show's coming back? Do you think that show's coming back? I don't know if any of us know when, but it's inevitable that the shows will come back in some form or another. Bigger and better, or smaller and worser. So, who knows?
Worser's not a word.
Either as Katie Conway.
Can I tell you? I went to a sketch comedy show about a month ago, and Commercial Break has been off for a while. And we were, we had a nice little following, and people were nice to us, but we were never we were always a little bit on the fringe. We were never Eliza's show. We were never Jeff or Ethan or you guys that are really inside. And I was at this sketch comedy show, and they had a little after party. And I was talking to some people, and 3 people came up to me, and they were like, "Oh my God, you're Mike from Commercial Break." And
Oh,
it was,
wow.
I was like,
cool.
it was,
Yeah,
I'm
very
like,
cool.
that's been off for almost a year. And so, I mean, there really is a following. I mean, not just for that, but I mean, there really is a group of people that were really invested in everything that we did and Brian did. And yeah, man, I hope it all comes back because,
You
again,
told them, no, you're Rebecca, right?
Exactly. Yeah, I
Good.
did.
Good. That's
But
fantastic.
it was nice, man. It was a really cool moment.
That's really cool.
You had the progressive girl on your show, right?
Yeah,
That
Flo.
was one of your more popular ones, right?
absolutely. I mean, I can't think of a bigger commercial star right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's still raking it in. That
Cash and
girl.
checks.
Yep, she's set.
Somebody we had on our show, Kirk, he's doing the Skinny Jeans Miller Lite ad right now. It was fun to see him.
Yeah, I've seen that one. I've done a lot of casting sessions with that, or gone into audition with him.
Yeah.
And he's never been very nice to me.
Nope.
Well,
I can't.
Ethan.
I'm not disputing that.
it's hard to be
Well-
nice to you.
Whatever, Katie. I know where you live.
No, you don't.
No, you're right, I don't. I actually don't.
Ooh, I like the question that just popped up by an honest fraud. What was one of your embarrassing moments, or what was your first day like at the stream?
Ooh.
That's kind of a good question.
It's almost like a two-parter.
Yeah.
My first day. Oh no, you go first.
Oh, okay.
Ladies, please.
Sorry.
Please.
No overlapping. I think my most embarrassing moment was one of the first times. Actually, it might have been my very first time. I think I was filling in for Haley for Coin Op, and I was sitting there just talking in the chat room, not really knowing what to do because it was my first experience. And I asked the people in the chat room what games they were currently playing, and I was just reading off all these rapid fire answers that I was getting in the chat room. And somebody said Pocket Pool, and I was like, "Oh, Pocket Pool! This guy's playing some Pocket Pool," and I didn't know what that was.
Nice.
I think I kind of looked a little bit stupid in that moment, but it was funny. I think the chat room kind of enjoyed my dumb blonde moment there.
Welcome to the stream.